The elevation of your situation is a journey that often requires breaking free from the chains that bind you. The discussion at hand is centered around the themes of financial healing and restoration. However, it is essential to remember that each divine promise comes with a prerequisite: the need for vigilance. In this context, being vigilant means staying alert in spirit, keeping your mind sharp and your heart pure. This is not the moment to be distracted by envy, comparison, or fear. Instead, it is a time to prepare yourself. Prepare your hands to build, your mind to grow, and your soul to remain grateful. Divine provision doesn't always arrive in the form you might expect. It may come as a new idea, a valuable connection, a challenge to overcome, or even a closed door that ultimately leads you to something better. Therefore, rather than waiting passively for the promise to materialize, you must take action in faith. Maintain a watchful eye over your thoughts, safeguard your decisions, and walk with humility. When you embody vigilance, you become better equipped to recognize pivotal moments. You can sense the whispers of encouragement, feel the shifts happening around you, and remain calm rather than panicked. It is important to remember that wealth that comes quickly can be lost just as rapidly. But wealth that is cultivated with intention is safeguarded. When God relays that financial abundance is on its way, do not merely celebrate. Also, prepare yourself. Embrace learning, work diligently, engage in worship, and stay observant. When God promises provision, especially financial abundance, it is not merely a passive guarantee. It is an invitation to prepare, align yourself with His will, and mature into a responsible steward. Many people mistakenly believe that receiving a blessing requires only waiting. However, in spiritual reality, waiting is an active process, often involving development, pruning, and alignment. When God says, "Money is coming," He is also indicating that you must get ready to manage what He intends to entrust to you. God's provision is never arbitrary or wasted. He blesses us according to divine purpose and destiny, which necessitates preparation. Consider the analogy of giving $1 million to a child. Without the necessary understanding or skills, they would likely mismanage it, leading to potential harm. Similarly, our wise Father will not bestow us with blessings we are not yet prepared to handle. Thus, when you sense or receive the message that money is on its way, recognize that your readiness will influence not only the timing of the blessing, but also its longevity and impact. Preparation starts internally. Examining our mindset is vital. Are we operating from a place of scarcity, fear, or selfishness? Or are we thinking with a kingdom perspective rooted in stewardship and generosity? Many individuals ask God for financial breakthroughs while holding on to mindsets tethered to lack or greed. They may desire more, yet fail to evolve their thinking from a previous stage of financial struggle. Without this mindset shift, the blessing is unlikely to endure. The first step in your preparation lies within the thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you nurture, and the expectations by which you live. Next comes the honing of your skills. God does not bless laziness. His teachings through the parable of the talents illustrate that those who take action with their given resources are entrusted with more. So, reflect on this. If financial resources appeared tomorrow, would you possess the skills to manage, budget, invest, and grow them? Are you equipped to transform resources into tangible results? Or would you squander them and find yourself back in a state of lack? In the pursuit of financial elevation, skills such as financial literacy, business strategy, time management, and leadership become essential. While God can supernaturally open doors, He expects us to walk through those doors with excellence, diligence, and integrity. Spiritual discipline is another critical aspect of preparation. As provision increases, so too does responsibility and the potential for temptation. Are you grounded in prayer, truth, and your relationship with God to ensure that money does not become an idol in your life? The real test lies in our ability to trust God not just in times of need, but also when we find ourselves in comfortable situations. Can you prioritize your relationship with Him even when surrounded by distractions and options? Spiritual preparation ensures that money will not replace our dependency on God. It fosters gratitude and keeps our focus on the giver rather than solely on the gifts bestowed upon us. Many people experience cycles of transient blessings where financial influxes are soon followed by depletion. Often, the root issue is not the source of the blessing, but rather the vessel receiving it. If we fail to prepare, both internally and practically, the blessings can easily slip through our fingers. This is why God may sometimes delay provision, not as punishment, but as protection. He withholds blessings until we are ready to handle them maturely, without succumbing to pride, wastefulness, or foolishness. It is also crucial to note that preparation itself invites blessings. When God observes us taking our responsibilities seriously, organizing our finances, educating ourselves, staying in prayer, and making room for His plans, He responds. Faith without works is indeed dead, and preparation represents one of the most profound expressions of faith, symbolizing our readiness and belief that greater things are on the horizon. Understand that the journey of preparation requires patience. It may involve seasons of discipline, correction, and even loss in order to ready you for the blessings ahead. Every delay holds purpose, and each lesson learned during these waiting periods serves as a valuable tool in the receiving stage. When provision does arrive, it should empower you rather than overwhelm you. Ultimately, divine provision is not just about receiving more. It is about becoming a better steward, transforming into the kind of individual who can manage, multiply, and honor what God provides. So, don't despise the season of preparation. Embrace it. When God declares that money is coming, He is not simply promising wealth. He is inviting you to grow, align, and step into your calling. The more prepared you are, the more trustworthy you become with what is to come. When we hear promises of financial abundance, it is easy to instantly envision cash in hand and overflowing bank accounts. However, God often operates outside our expectations. His blessings, particularly financial ones, may not always manifest as direct monetary gain. Sometimes, provision comes disguised as an idea, a person, an opportunity, or even a moment of disappointment that ultimately leads to something greater. This is why remaining spiritually and mentally alert is crucial. If we fixate on only one form of financial blessing, we may inadvertently miss God's avenues for provision. One of the most common ways He delivers is through opportunities. A seemingly insignificant job offer might pave the way for a financial breakthrough. It may not be the dream position or the high salary role you envisioned at first, but rather a stepping stone toward growth, valuable connections, or necessary experience to propel you toward greater achievements. Moreover, God provides through innovative ideas. Many people pray for financial assistance, but overlook the creative seeds of inspiration that arise in their hearts. A simple business idea, a solution to a pressing problem, or a concept for a new product or service can be divine gifts. They may not initially appear lucrative, but with faith, purposeful action, and persistence, these ideas can blossom into meaningful sources of income and impact. The challenge, however, is that these ideas require effort, belief, and often taking risks outside of your comfort zone. Relationships serve as another unexpected conduit for provision. God frequently sends individuals into our lives to guide us, connect us, mentor us, or partner with us in ways that unlock financial opportunities. A seemingly ordinary conversation could open doors you never anticipated. A passing connection might lead to a new client, investor, or innovative vision. This is why treating others with kindness and being attentive to those divine appointments is so crucial. We may never know which encounter holds the key to our next blessing. Conversely, closed doors, while painful and perplexing at the time, can also represent a form of divine provision. Just as a job opportunity might fall through or a deal might collapse, these occurrences might signal God guiding you toward something better. Although it may feel like a setback initially, these closed doors often redirect us toward greater paths. Sometimes we become so fixated on what we perceive as our blessing that we overlook the bigger picture. God's denial of one path can often be a setup for a far better opportunity. Wisdom is another invaluable, albeit often neglected, type of provision. Financial wisdom is a gift that many underestimate. Sometimes, instead of granting a sudden influx of cash, God provides insights on how to manage the resources you already possess better. This wisdom might help you eliminate debt, craft a sound budget, or identify unnecessary expenses draining your finances. While it may not initially feel like a financial blessing, that wisdom can lead to long-term stability, far more valuable than temporary gains. Occasionally, God permits hardships to awaken your purpose. Financial struggles may prompt you to unearth strengths you didn't previously recognize, pushing you toward entrepreneurship, creative thinking, or deeper trust in Him. Within that journey, you may discover gifts that transform into sources of income and influence, leading to financial blessings. Again, those rewards may not present themselves as immediate cash inflow, but they can ultimately lead to it. Thus, the fundamental principle lies in remaining spiritually discerning. If your heart is solely set on receiving one specific method of blessing, you may become blind to all others. God is creative, sovereign, and intentional. He is not bound to our finite expectations. The real challenge is not whether God will provide, it is whether we will recognize His provision when it arrives in unexpected forms. Therefore, remain watchful. Keep your eyes peeled for ideas, relationships, conversations, opportunities, and even setbacks. Cultivate a spirit sensitive to guidance. Pray not just for provision, but also for vision. Ask God to illuminate what paths to pursue, whom to connect with, what initiatives to launch, and what to release. Trust that if He has declared provision is on its way, it will arrive, even if it doesn't manifest in the way you envisioned. The blessings are real, but they often come intertwined with responsibility, development, and faith. As you maintain an open and alert mindset, you will begin to discern God's hand in places you never anticipated. This is truly how a profound provision operates. In your journey toward receiving what God has promised, especially in the realm of financial provision, one of the greatest hazards is distraction. Distractions may not always present themselves in overtly noticeable ways, They can subtly invade through emotions, thoughts, comparisons, or circumstances that divert your attention from God's promises. When you receive the assurance that financial abundance is forthcoming, vigilance is not merely a suggestion, it is an absolute necessity. Without a vigilant heart, it is too easy to drift into doubt, sidetracked by the urgency of situations that hold little importance. Vigilance keeps your heart anchored and your focus firmly on what truly matters. Common distractions can whisper doubts, suggesting the promises will not materialize. You will never have enough. You will fail if you try, or that you are unworthy of receiving what has been spoken over your life. Fear breeds hesitation, and hesitation can rob you of opportunities. When fear takes root, decision-making becomes agonizing, and action is often stalled. Yet, staying vigilant involves confronting that fear head-on. It requires continually reminding yourself of God's promises, particularly when your circumstances seem to assert otherwise. Vigilance empowers you to move forward in faith, even when you feel unprepared. The enemy uses fear to paralyze your potential, but vigilance propels you forward, despite those apprehensions. Another profound distraction comes in the form of envy. In our era of social media and constant updates on others' successes, it's easy to compare your journey to someone else's and question why their blessings arrive faster or shine brighter. You might be diligently working, praying, and remaining faithful, yet still find yourself feeling overlooked. This comparison can steal your peace and sow doubts about your unique path, clouding your perception of God's timing and plan for your life. The truth is that your blessing is tailor-made for you. It is not delayed. It is orchestrated specifically for your growth, maturity, and readiness. Vigilance enables you to celebrate others' victories without losing sight of your journey. It assures you that God's plan for your life is unique, and it will unfailingly come to fruition. Comparison, closely tied to envy, becomes a silent destroyer of joy and progress. It fosters the false belief that your worth is determined by how you measure up against others. However, your journey is not a race. God is not grading you against the achievements of others. Instead, He is cultivating you into the person capable of carrying the blessings He has promised. By constantly measuring yourself against others, you miss the beauty of your personal growth and progress. Vigilance encourages you to turn your focus inward and upward rather than outward. Situational distractions also arise. Life can throw unexpected challenges, crises, and shifts in responsibilities our way. Bills can mount, opportunities can vanish, and relationships can change. Such circumstances may lead you to question the authenticity of God's promise. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that vigilance is most crucial. Staying vigilant means steadfastly refusing to let temporary difficulties distract you from the enduring truth of God's Word. It requires you to believe in His promises more than you believe in the pressures surrounding you. This does not imply ignoring your current reality. It means anchoring your hope in a greater reality, one that transcends momentary challenges. Your vigilant stance also involves safeguarding your environment. Be selective about the voices you allow into your life. They can either nourish
your faith or fuel your fears. Surround yourself with those who speak life and encouragement, not negativity and doubt. Be intentional about consuming uplifting input that enhances your spirit rather than depleting it. Recognize that the voices you listen to significantly influence your growth. Vigilance entails curating a supportive atmosphere that fosters faith, because what surrounds you shapes what thrives within you. Remember, blessings are often preceded by testing. The delays, silence, and resistance are not indicative of divine neglect. They are integral parts of your preparation. If you lack vigilance, you may abandon the process right before your breakthrough, potentially forfeiting the very experiences that are molding you into someone capable of sustaining the blessings that await you. Vigilance fosters endurance. It grants you the resilience necessary to continue building, sowing, and believing, even when the fruits of your labor remain unseen. It reassures you that a harvest awaits, always coming to those who refuse to give up. In conclusion, financial blessings may manifest in various unexpected ways. While being prepared is vital, it is equally crucial to remain discerning and vigilant to recognize God's provision when it speaks in unanticipated forms. Embrace the journey of preparation and the waiting process, for they empower you to receive and manage your blessings with wisdom and grace. Trust wholeheartedly that what lies ahead is truly remarkable. With an open heart and vigilant spirit, you will unlock the door to God's abundant provision and the transformative journey toward fulfilling your destiny.
Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more motivational content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.